Hello, Gemini. Thank you very much for tuning in to this week's read. For the main part of the read, I'm using the Gendron Tarot by Melanie Gendron. Website at the top here is usgamesinc.com. Feel free to check that out if you want to. Supportive Oracle Cards, Energy Oracle Cards by Sandra Ann Taylor. On the back is the website hayhouseradio.com. Feel free to check that out if you want to. There's also on the inside here some other Hay House websites. Feel free to freeze frame and check those out if you would so like to. What do we have for Gemini? This feels good. Like I'm kind of excited about something, which I have no idea what. Something, okay. Okay, I'm getting like, I see this at the end, but I'm getting like the storm chaser feeling. This might not be bad. Might not. Let's get there first. I don't know. Let's get there first, because I feel like, are we avoiding the storm or going right into it? Gemini is interesting. You guys have a lot of different ways to look at things, so even though there's a storm there, I just don't feel like I'm upset by it for some reason. We'll see when we get there. When you started this situation, it came from a spot where I have to do what I have to do. This reminds me of, like, you know, maybe you move to a new city, country, maybe you move to a new country, whatever. And you're like, well, now that I'm here, I need a job. So what do I have out here? I tried for a couple things that I want, didn't really get those, but now I do need to pay bills. So I need to get something. So what is out there that I can actually just get? And I feel like I maybe ended up in a job that it was okay. I mean, I'm going to say okay. Was it good? No. Was it bad? No. It had its uses. This reminds me of working in insurance. It has its upsides, it has its downsides. Insurance is to me very painfully boring. But you get a good paycheck out of it, yeah. So it seems like something like that. It's like, okay, do I want to do it? No. Do I want the benefits of doing it though? Yeah. Do I want the paycheck, basically? That's how it feels like this started. Whatever the situation is, something like that. Did what you had to do. Did what you had to do. So, I'm going to go up here first. Opportunity favors the bold. Opportunity favors the bold. Okay, let's see where this is going. It's not bad, but why am I sarcastic about it? I feel very sarcastic about that. Opportunity favors the bold. But I want to like roll my eyes at that for some reason. Like I want to be very sarcastic with it. Queen of Wands, the yin yang, Hanged Man starting to release. So it's kind of like upside down, not completely, but when the Hanged Man goes upside down, it's like it's out of that person is out of the snare, but they're pulling themselves together, so they're not really moving yet, but they're going to be able to move fairly soon. That's how I'm feeling about this right now. And then the Knight of Cups. But the Knight of Cups is like half in, half out. So I'm like, somebody who's very nice to me, but like, why are they nice to me? Like, are they nice to me because they like me? Or are they nice to me because they think they're going to like me? You know what I mean? It's kind of weird like that. Opportunity favors the bold. There's a risk to be taken here. It's more of a risk, kind of like, I feel like I'm getting involved with somebody, and I'm like, I don't really know if that's the best idea or not. This person could be great, a lot of opportunities, I could have a lot of good things here. Or, this person could turn out to be a nightmare. I don't know which. It's all about how I connect to them. Okay. Opportunity favors the bold. So, I feel like Gemini gets this a lot. You can tell me if I'm wrong, clearly. If you just think it away, you'll never know. Like if you just see the opportunity and think about it, think about it, think about it, it's like the bus is gonna approach you, show up, and keep on going. And if you overthink it, you're gonna be like, well, look at there's those taillights. There goes those taillights, and there goes the opportunity. So be careful of that. Opportunity favors the bold. When the bus starts approaching, answer your hard questions first. When it's in front of you, just make a decision, yes or no. If it's no, drop it, go into something else, put your attention somewhere else. If it's yes, get on that bus and go. Don't sit there and look at the bus as it drives away. Like, when it's in front of you, yes or no. If it's yes, get involved, and go. Get involved twice, I guess. I don't know what that was about. If it's not, completely get it out of your head and center your energy somewhere else. Because watching it drive away is just, there's no point. If you decide no, commit to that, put your energy somewhere else. Opportunity favors the bold. It's the Ace of Swords, the Ace of Wands, and the Page of Pentacles. Well, it's the Princess, which tells me it could go either Page or Knight, the way I read it, in this deck anyway. It's something that looks like it's going to take a while. It's something that looks like it's going to take long-term effort, long-term commitment. It's like if you want to go to school to be a lawyer or a doctor, it's a long-term commitment. That type of thing. That's how this feels. If you're like, you know what, I really would like to be a lawyer. That sounds cool. Commit to it. Go for it. But on the other hand, if you're like, you know, it sounds like a lot of work. It sounds like it's a lot of boring work. Don't do it. Walk away. Don't do a halfway thing. Don't do yourself that favor. Ace of Swords and the Ace of Wands is saying you got to move on it when it shows up. Once it moves on, it's done. This is definitely one where there's going to be a lot of work here. If you commit to it, you're going to have a lot of things going on. There's a lot to get involved with. There's a lot of levels to the same thing. So it's like if you're going to be a lawyer, for example, there's a lot to learn there. There's a lot of different levels, a lot of different ways you could take this situation, a lot of different cases you could go into. It's one of those things to me that's very interesting because it's like when I see the Ace of Pentacles for Gemini, it could mean a lot of monotony, but a lot of value coming out of that monotony. In your case with this situation, especially because you got it backed up by this door to romance, which doesn't have to be literal romance, but like you could have a lot of fun with this situation due to all the levels you could step in and out of. It's kind of like learning how to bake or cook, and as you learn how to do one procedure, you can apply it to so many different recipes. And when you choose the next recipe, you learn something from that, and you can take every time you learn a step or a procedure, you can kind of learn it in your own way, and you can apply it to so many different levels and so many different things that it keeps your attention. You could go so many different directions with it. It's like, especially lawyer, I think that's why I'm using that analogy. There's certain rules and certain things, but you can apply them so many different ways, and that's part of the brilliance of that, for this analogy. That's why when you go forward, it's the Seven of Cups. So I think that's why you're heading into this storm. That's the whole point. There's a lot, some of this, there's a very strong structure to it, especially with the lawyer thing, but there's so many different ways it could go. There's so many possibilities. Whatever this opportunity favors the bold. Whatever this is, it will keep your attention. You will start to love it because there's a storm here. I feel that's so crazy. But it's like if you're admiring the storm from afar, you're heading towards it, but you're kind of looking at what the fallout was afterwards, and you're helping clean up the fallout, and it's always different. That might be why that's interesting to you. If it's your house in the middle of that storm, not so fun. Not so fun. So I feel like you're kind of like, when I'm looking at the storm, maybe you're either dealing with the aftermath or you're trying to help people during the storm to get out of the way of the storm, but you don't live in the storm. You don't live in it. So it's kind of like, that's another lawyer analogy, in my opinion. You know, if you're helping people, you're fighting for other people, that's different than actually having to fight for yourself. You know, I feel like that's the difference. You'll let me know in the comments, I'm sure. So, fortune favors the bold. Did I say that right? I think I did. So, they're saying it's cool. If you want it, go for it. If you don't want it, just make your decision no. Make your decision yes, no, and then just stick with it. Yes, go for it. You're going to love it. It's going to be fun. No, that's cool too. Walk away from it. Center your energy somewhere else. Just leave it there and just let it be. Don't, whatever you do, don't watch the taillights as the bus pulls away. Just don't do that to yourself. There's also this. The Eight of Pentacles with the Door to Spirit. There's going to be a lot more layers to this that you're not even going to see until you get there. It's kind of like it's like visiting a new country. You have an overview of what's there, but once you get there and get a flavor of the culture, you see a lot more depth, a lot more ideas than you ever would have saw through a book. So it's like getting there opens doors that you didn't realize were there. So keep that in mind too. Are we good? All right, I'm going to shut this down here. Hope that helps. Thank you for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below. Same email. Thanks again for watching, and have a great day.